Good morning again, and welcome. I am Sandra Matavu-Fry, and I have the privilege to serve as the People's Counsel for the District of Columbia. I want to welcome you today to OPC's Horizons 2015. I am expecting a wonderful day, and I hope you go away fully informed and engaged. I am especially proud to be joined today by the Honorable Council Member Mary Che, Ward 3 representative on the Council of the District of Columbia. And as you know, she is a champion for the environment and the district. Councilmember Che has led the charge in establishing some of the most forward-looking legislation which has significantly impacted D.C. governments and its own environmental footprint. Most notably, it was because of the hard work of Councilmember Che that we have the Clean and Affordable Energy Act and the creation of the D.C. Sustainable Energy Utility, which was created to develop energy and efficiency programs that will reduce our carbon footprint in the District of Columbia. Though Ward 3 is her home, she is truly an environmental champion for the entire city. She has agreed to give us just a few words, and as you can see, she's ready to do her thing. So please let's give a warm welcome to Councilmember Mary Che.
Good morning, everybody, and I want to thank the People's Council. I want to thank the University of the District of Columbia. I see we have Dean Shelley Broderick here, and all of the partners in putting this together. They're hugging now. But I just wanted to say a few words. I had two themes in my mind this morning, for my own day. One was, energy, come out, I'm going to engage in some activity. But then the other, I must say, like the horns, I remember I was at a conference on aging, and the head of the Office on Aging at that time was late to the meeting, and we were there to talk about villages and that sort of thing. And he said, I'm so sorry I'm late because I stayed home and I was aging in place. And that's what I really wanted to do this morning, but I figured, okay, I'll get out, I'll respond to this part of it. I just want to say that I'm delighted that you have been able to put on this program. We have been forward-thinking, forward-leaning in our environmental programs, both with the Clean and Affordable Energy Act and a whole variety of other pieces of legislation, one of which is really exciting. The Council passed the community solar legislation. Even if you can't manage solar, you can join with others and get the benefits of it. We will have a most robust renewable energy set of programs and standards in place to meet. But all of the things that we've done won't be very useful unless you all take advantage of them and push them. So I hope here today you'll learn as much as you can about all of the programs, all the ways you can avail yourself of them, and all the ways you can carry it back to your groups or your communities to take advantage of them. We are at the District of Columbia. It's extraordinary for a relatively small geographic jurisdiction. We are at the forefront of environmental progressivism in the United States. And people look to us. I get requests for copies of our legislation, for example, routinely. So go out, learn, carry it back, and take advantage of all the things that are there, because we need you to play that part. So, again, thank you for putting this on. I really hope you all have a good day. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilmember Che. He's gone. First and foremost, I want to thank the University of the District of Columbia, David A. Clark School of Law, for allowing OPC to host our event at this beautiful facility. I especially want to thank Dean Shelley Broderick for graciously extending herself and her team to make this event possible. Dean Broderick and this school truly embody the public interest heritage upon which it was founded. It is the spirit and public interest commitment that attracted me to its legacy founder, my alma mater, the Antioch School of Law. and I see another colleague there as well. And I can say without reservation or hesitation that I have been able to apply the lessons that I learned here 30 years ago to my service on behalf of the District of Columbia. I was honored and indeed humbled to be recognized for my public advocacy when I received the prestigious UDC David A. Clark School of Law 2013 Consumer Advocate Award. In turn, it is my privilege on behalf of the Office of the People's Counsel and the ratepayers of the District of Columbia to present Dean Broderick with OPC's Public Interest Recognition Award, to thank you for today, but more importantly, for under her leadership, the work that UDC Law has done for the community. And I'd like to say, as everything we do, this was a OPC staff project. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Dean Broderick.
Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome. Thank you. Those of you that are familiar with OPC know my job is to advocate and litigate on behalf of all utility consumers. Our sole responsibility to DC consumers is to put people first by ensuring that utility rates are affordable, service is reliable, and energy efficient. To carry out this charge, we appear before the Public Service Commission, assist consumers in resolving individual complaints, and educate and inform our residents about changes in service, including providing information on energy efficiency and sustainable resource options that are available throughout the city. What has become increasingly apparent is that the world is changing. The world of utility regulation is dynamic and evolving. Yesterday's truisms are being turned on their head. As I have said on more than one occasion, I embrace change, but change must produce positive consumer benefits. About a year ago, when my team and I began planning this event, I knew that the time was ripe to change the conversation. In other words, I wanted to help consumers connect the dots, to see themselves as participants in an emerging system of options, services, and even to become energy service providers themselves. So I reached out to new stakeholders to learn and to listen. For today's event, we set out to link the past, the present, and more importantly, the future. Today we will talk about where we've been, the exciting options that are already available, and the astounding adventures that are on the precipice, our new horizons. My goal is to demystify the topic. So whether you're here today, one, as a senior seeking the best value for your energy dollar and information about how to manage your accounts, or two, as a consumer who wants to get jiggy with the renewable energy revolution, or three, as one of our brilliant and talented young award recipients, you will have an opportunity to learn from our experts, but more importantly, you will be part of the conversation. Energy issues are not just an afterthought for most consumers. Energy bills consume as much as 20% of household budgets. And for those that are on those low-income consumers, that's a big chunk of money. Energy consumption impacts our lives in numerous and profound ways. It is critical to managing our energy budgets and our business costs and our overall quality of life, and has a direct impact on our environment. Clearly, any forward-looking energy policy must incorporate conservation and energy efficiency savings. Our collective challenge is to ensure that all consumers, rich, poor, share equally in the benefits afforded by new technology and savings. Thus, we must develop programs and policies that help minorities, low-income consumers, and our seniors avoid being hit with a double whammy. First, in the form of environmental justice issues because of where they live, and second, being locked out of the full breadth of energy efficiency measures and savings simply because they cannot pay the upfront installation costs. This is not, and it can never be, a rich man, poor man chess game. We should not fear the convergence of technology and energy services. I believe the changes we see are here to stay, and it is incumbent upon me and other policy makers to ensure that the benefits of distributed generation, microgrids, solar, and other renewable options are available to and allocated equally, irrespective of demographics or race. In other words, we need to own it. On my home front, in addition to conducting our very popular energy efficiency workshops throughout the city, and we've done more than 300 in the last 3 years, we are now expanding our outreach to conduct new renewable initiatives to churches and other faith-based congregations, as well as to multifamily buildings, to collaborate with key government agencies to expand the promise of sustainability throughout the district in every ward. For our first success story, I am proud to report that the Mount Calvary Holy Church, located in Northwest Washington, has agreed to undertake a $1 million project in deep energy retrofits, including the installation of rooftop panels. This initiative was made possible through the efforts of an OPC staff member who introduced the church leaders to these options and helped facilitate the use of district-sponsored energy efficiency rebates and financing projects. Pam, are you here? She will discuss this briefly in the Track 2 program, and there will be a formal announcement sometime in May or later during the summer. We have assembled an amazing group of experts for today's sessions. Our speakers are all frontline warriors fighting for change. You will hear from the Department of Energy and local government representatives, the Public Service Commission, utility providers, energy efficiency and renewable energy experts, and providers. They will bring success stories from individuals and groups who have already applied these technologies, as well as from government and private industry leaders who are actively delivering the message of community-based and alternative energy solutions to local, regional, and national audiences. My office remains committed to the energy and environmental programs of the D.C. Sustainable Energy Utility, the D.C. Department of Energy, and all of our sponsors sharing today's platform. I would especially like to express my sincere thanks and appreciation to PEPCO and Washington Gas for their participation and sponsorship. It is another example that, irrespective of our differences, public and private collaboration on issues of commonality affecting utility consumers is possible. I really hope you share my excitement. I want you to leave today with a better sense of your role in the energy arena, a much broader awareness of the programs and the people you need to engage to get your projects moving, the confidence that the programs are real, attainable, and effective, and that OPC and our partners are here to support you and are fully vested in your success. People will always be first on my agenda, but I need your feedback. What can we do? How can we do it better? I challenge you to ask questions and to demand answers and to tell your stories. Make it real. Don't walk away not understanding what was said. If you don't know, ask somebody, as they say. Before I can go on, I would be remiss if I did not thank my staff. I have a phenomenal staff who's worked so hard to put this event together. And I'm going to get in serious trouble when I go back to the office. But I do want to give special thanks to Nicole Sideraman, Barbara Burton, and Cheryl Morse for their leadership role in pulling this together. Thank you, guys.